I said, here a couple of weeks ago that, this company Upstart was going to get cut in half. But the patterns are what they are. And this is what Moderna looks like. So to me, this was just a giant, big distribution pattern. This whole thing was just distribution. And now we're here. We're at $30. So it dropped $40 overnight. So, patterns equal, trajectory. And it's amazing. All of these stocks are just disappearing. Peloton, I wanted a short after earnings. I mean, it's a $13 stock. You say, where can it go? Well, it went down 25% in the aftermarket's trading at $10 now. But this was, a long time ago. When this was $170, I said, this is going to be a $20 stock again. I was wrong. It's now 10. So, here is the pattern. And, patterns equal trajectory. How much, when, these are the unknowns. But when we see the appearance of these things, this is the difficulty. The appearance of this started here, but then it was like, months and months of shaking you out and shaking your confidence. But this is why, when we see these things, they mean something. And, sometimes it could take 6 months for the thing to get where it's pointing. But, Moderna, to me, looks awfully a lot like, actually looks worse than Upstart. You have this giant double top. You have this giant two shoulders here. So it looks exactly the same. So, I expect this to be a $60 stock at some point. When, it could, keep banging. It could be, whatever. But this is, what we got to just be mindful of what, is happening. And then these, rallies are, you just got to find these places where, rally looks exhausted. So I don't think you're going to get above last week's high at 155 or whatever this thing was. So how you get in, how you work it out. I mean, sometimes, sometimes I just look at this and say, okay, this is where my risk is. So if I get an extraordinary rally somewhere in here, you always ask, what's the rally? I don't know. Sometimes I just, it starts rallying. I take a piece and it rallies more and I take a piece more because I look at the whole thing and I go, where's this? Look, it could keep going back here and then go there. So this is the, the beauty and the nightmare of trading. But, pattern equals trajectory. I got short this stock into a rally yesterday. It rallied after earnings. And I got short around 142, 144, 145, kept taking nibbles. It hasn't really come off yet, but and then I got rid of some. I day traded it and took pieces out of it. BNTX, sorry. It's kind of very closely follows Moderna, but to me, it's the same kind of story. Pattern equals trajectory. So we've, established the pattern. Now, you got a rounding top, you've got all this stuff. And so, it could continue hanging out here. The problem is it's, hit this area where there's a bit of support. So whenever you get in this area, it can bump and jostle here. But, eventually, when we look at Upstart, this is what these things eventually look like. So how it gets there, when, I don't know. But, when I see these extraordinary rallies like yesterday in this thing, I just took a poke at it. What's it look like now in the daily? I've still got a piece, so it actually closed on the low. So, it's a little bit difficult when you got this guy here and you got to see your way through here. But I don't think you can really get hurt selling into rallies on this thing. I do think that, this is the top, whatever this double top head and shoulders pattern is, I don't think you're going to see this again. So, you've kind of retested, you broke out, you kind of retested that, made a new low. So I just think we're going to keep making new lows. But it's dicey in here. It could go anywhere here, and it could take a while to mine through this area. So, that's the thing. Yesterday we had an extraordinary sell-off. Now the Dow's up 250, and that's kind of the thing every day. It's kind of 3 steps forward, 2.5 back, but these stocks are making extraordinary moves.
So you can see, 45, it's 1.3 million.
$1.3 million short.
So pop out a profit for 118,000 there.
So you can see how this is going crazy now. You can see how the market just going nuts.
I bet like $1.6 million on this position. I'm showing right now $23,000 gain.